Hello everyone, I hope you've had a great day so far and that you're doing well. For this video we'll be going through our retrospective unbagging series with Imperium Issue 54, and Imperium is for the Warhammer 40,000 setting. As for this issue of Imperium, it would have come out originally for Australia anyway back in 2023, although previous places like the UK, US probably would have had it a few years prior. So, almost at the halfway mark through the 50s issues with issue 54. So we already know there'll be some more Adepta Sororitas models included. So in terms of the front of the magazine, we do have the Sisters of Battle duking it out with the Drukhari. Interesting matchup, but there it is. In terms of what else is in here, so 7 miniatures in total, including various battle sisters, Seraphim, a sister Repentia, and a Arco-Flagellant. So obviously we'll get those reinforcements, an updated paint guide, which I suspect is for the Adepta Sororitas, I guess, and some stratagems. Front of the, well, not so much the front, the actual contents page, as there'll be some background information for the Adepta Sororitas. Painting and building is pretty much for them as well. And then the play side of things, going through stratagems and a War of Faith scenario. So, Adepta Sororitas, injuries and grudges. So basically some background information, your random dice generator table. So it's always nice to see there. So it's a bit of background fluff and things like that. And we're still going through some other random generators here with some injuries and losses and things like that. So it's just a way to give your models / army a bit more of a thematic feeling. How to build, so pretty much building through the various models included. So the Battle Sisters, the Seraphim, Repentia and Arco-Flagellant. There will be some different bases included, which is fine, most of which will be for the Sisters of Battle. And then obviously we just get that final summary of those completed models, how to paint. This may be an updated paint guide possibly, but either way, Abaddon Black as your base coat, followed by Corn Red and Mephiston Red for the robes, Morn Fang Brown for leather belts, holsters and things like that. Lead Belcher as always for various weapon casings and trimmings. Corax White for embellishments and hair. Scrimmer Pink for your purity seals. Rakarth Flesh for the actual parchment. Retributor Armor for your golden sections, golden intakes. My goodness. I blame the Seraphim. Agrax Earthshade to obviously go over probably your Rakarth, which isn't unsurprising. Norn Oil pretty much for everything else. This issue appears to be falling apart. So we've got some more Reichland Fleshshade coming through. Storm Host Silver for your highlights trimming. Wild Rider Red for some more trimming. Pink Horror Pallid Witch Flesh. It actually does feel like it's a bit of a revised painting guide. What else do we have here? My goodness. Back to Corax White. Actually, in fact, those first few steps are just pretty much the Battle Sisters and the Seraphim. So the Sister Repentia will have a guide, and also the Flagellant. In fact, I'm not going to go through every single paint now because we're just jumping all over the place. So obviously it is a much more updated guide with all the available paints that have started to come through since the initial rollout of these Sisters models. So yes, it's become a very comprehensive guide. And then at the end of it, we do go through obviously the basing. So the Astral Granite, just to add some of that texturing, the Norn Oil, and some Dawnstone to dry brush that. So the final gallery. So what do we have here? So the Seraphim, the Sisters of Battle, the Arcos, and the Sisters Repentia. What do we have here? So we basically go back and touch up some of the models from previous issues, such as issue 49. So yeah, definitely a lot of models have been provided in the last few issues. Adepta Sororitas stratagems. I'm not going to cover this too much, just in case some of them have changed now that we're currently in 11th edition. But there is a tutorial on one of those stratagems, I suspect, how it would work. And then the War of Faith mission. Necrons, Adepta Sororitas, and the actual mission itself. Pretty much your forces in play, the mission rules, battlefield objectives, etc. So pretty much what you need to know to be able to play that mission. Usual splash page for Imperium, and then on the back. So we knew about 55 in terms of the issue. Some scenery there, and then issue 56 we will go back to some paints. So that was a page through of issue 54, although it got to a point where I just pretty much just started literally paging through it because I wasn't going to read verbatim every single paint being used. Now, what else was in this issue? So we do get some of those bases, so the Seraphim will have some of these clear stands, which is always nice to see, followed by these various bases as well. So there will be apparently 3 different sizes here, most of which will be for the Battle Sisters, and then I think these 2 here I think that one's the Repentia and that one's the Arco-Flagellant. I feel I haven't seen a base this small in such a long time, going back to like 2nd, 3rd edition, more so 3rd. And then lastly the actual sprue included, so everything's a bit of a hogwash mishmash. You've got the Seraphim components, the Battle Sisters, I think here is the Arco, the Repentia is probably up here as well, so definitely very detailed in the way of the models themselves. I keep saying that whenever I see them because I'm back to, well, I'm used to a point in time when these were all metal, so seeing these as plastic and detailed and multi-part still takes me back a bit, but does look very, very cool. It's nice to have that all there. Now, a lot of the war gear options are pretty much predetermined, so even though they are multi-part, there isn't going to be a lot of customizations, but that's okay. Work with what you got. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the retrospective page through of issue 54 for Imperium. I do believe this pretty much starts to wrap up the Adepta Sororitas in terms of models, given that we've had, I think, about at least 3 issues that have featured quite prominently with these, you know, multi-model sprues. So it will be fun to put everything together. I mean, it's pretty much a good way to kickstart my Plastic Sisters army. Not that I'm in a rush to paint them, but definitely looking forward to when the time does come. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there, so thank you very much for watching this little unbagging video. Feel free to leave a comment, subscribe, like as well if you enjoy the content. It does help support the channel, and I do appreciate it. Feel free to check out Instagram and the YouTube community tab as well. I'm trying to keep some work in progress stuff going up there as often as I can. A lot of it has been Warhammer 40k as of late, but it is going to end up being a bit of a mix and match of whatever I am working on. With that being said, stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you all in next week's video, which will be Imperium issue 55, potentially, or something else on the channel. See ya.